Oh, Metal Summoners. It is so good to see you guys on this, for the sake of Angel, Titty Tuesday. So, as always, you guys are familiar with us rocking out on Wednesdays, but we are coming at you right now because we've got tours to discuss, we've got music to discuss, and we've got friends to hang with. Metal Summoners, thank you guys so much for rocking out with us. It is a live, brand new episode of the Metal Summit with myself, with Angel, and our ever so fiery red Ron from Empire Extreme, who you guys know as well. And we always appreciate you guys tuning in, joining us on your island of Misfit Toys to have a little bit of fun. So we decided that we wanted to bring back a couple of our beloved alumni who we miss ever so much, all of us being East Coast people, but coming at us, lasers and all, from sunny Los Angeles. Illusions of Grandeur, the Archangel and the Siren, Sam and Maggie are joining us now. First and foremost, thank you so much. Congrats on the tour and welcome back to the Metal Summit. We've missed you.
Yo, you're welcome, bro. We are so happy to be here with you guys. We miss you guys too.
Yeah, it's as much as we hang out with people here, it's lonely. We don't have Jay and we don't have Ron. We're not anywhere near Baltimore or any of the areas you guys are in. Now we're floating out here in the canyons.
Yeah.
We shall find you. Well, at least you have a coffee mug to keep both of you warm.
Every morning?
Every morning I use them. Every morning. I swear on the Siren, every morning.
Absolutely. So shout out to our beloved Coffin Bar that we love so very, very much. So thank you guys.
Which, by the way, is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
For anyone who is wondering.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania for the Coffin Bar. Absolutely love that place. That place is awesome. Good food, good drinks, good peeps. But speaking of good peeps, you guys have a tour to discuss from what I hear.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I'm the singer and the driver. Where we're going, I don't fucking know. I know where the first stop is. I'm lying, but I'm gonna let CM take this one.
We started Rockfest next Thursday. We launch off at Rockfest, and then we are all through the middle of the country in Oklahoma City, in the Memphis, Tennessee. We're in Nashville, Tennessee, yep. And then the final show. It's like 10 or 15 shows, but the final show is in Gastonia, North Carolina at Brewstock.
Oh, that's it.
So and. We just got here to California like a month and 6 days ago.
Yep.
And we're literally driving back across the United States, and we'll end on the East Coast and then drive all the way back to LA.
So I had this bucket list thing of like wanting to drive across the country once, because just so everyone knows, not because he wouldn't have, but I drove across the country. Like everywhere I drove. So now my crazy ass is going to go one more time. Oh, and then I'm just going to have to go one more time back.
And then again in August.
In August. Oh, yeah, that's right. In August we go.
In August we have another tour that takes us to the great state of Texas.
Where are my Texas people at?
Yeah, we're literally doing like 10 shows in Texas, which Texas is so big that the market supports it. And that's going to be crazy. And that'll be announced soon. And we're out with Dead Reckoning.
That's what I was like, when we say we're out with Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, we're out with Dead Reckoning for the entire run of the tour. And then in October, all the way through November, like actually, I think it's like 10 shows. From October 26th, we're at the Whiskey A Go-Go, and then we're all over the place.
And we go well, actually, no. We're at the House of Blues first.
Yeah, we're in San Diego.
We're in San Diego at the House of Blues. And then we go up.
I'm gonna wear my Stay Classy Sunday.
You have to, yes. That's from Leeds.
That's from Leeds.
Leeds, UK, when we played the Cart and Horse, which is
not the Cart and Horse.
Yes.
Was it the Cart and Horse?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm wrong. Anyway, so we have a tour coming up next week, and it's gonna be.
We have to come back because we have so many tours.
Yeah. Oh well, but not to be crazy, but it's just we couldn't think of anyone better to meet with and talk about this than the Metal Summit.
We heart you. Absolutely, we do, for sure. So considering that you guys have relocated to Los Angeles with all the amazing music scene out there, the different opportunities, and the ability to really push Illusions of Grandeur, with moving and relocating the band, some decisions probably had to be made as far as talent in the band. Can you talk to us and the fans a little bit about who's playing with you now and what you guys had to do to keep the band so strong, considering you went across the country?
Okay, well, let me just first and foremost say Illusions never stops. We started in 2015 and we've faced numerous challenges, as anybody in a band knows. But just want to be really clear that if I have one arm, you will still see me on stage. So no one stops me, holds me back. Not that anyone was, but I'm just saying we're not stopping. Illusions is a machine. Fortunately, because of this gentleman here, we have quite a few friends out here already. So we've been to LA in the past 3 years, probably like 20 times.
Yeah.
So we've already kind of built relationships and have connections and stuff out here. And it started with Ty Agudasan because
Tyus, an old friend of mine.
Yep. He's an old friend of CM's. He is actually from the Philly scene, like way back when.
He was in Mach 22.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And one of the classic lineups with Jaron, who's with George Lynch.
Yes.
Yeah, and then about a year ago, we had a pretty big shift in the band. Our drummer retired and left, and our guitar player left due to family issues. All good. We all love one another.
Yep. Yeah.
So we kind of went through this year touring with the help of some good friends.
Yeah, good friends, hired guns, and we were fortunate enough to have them. And since we're here, I'd like to thank everyone that was a part of that, because if it wasn't for those great people standing up and helping us out, we would have had to cancel a lot of shows. So
Miles from the band Gladdy.
Yep, Miles from Gladdy.
Mark from Empress.
Yep, I was just
jumped in. Jamie, who's just a freelance drummer, who kind of helped us out, and Blake Shannon, who plays on Offensive and has a few leads on the new Illusions album. But we have, and so it's a funny story. We have a new drummer. And how we got the new drummer is a fun.
I'll let you tell us.
Is a funnier story. So our new guitar player, who's come on board with us, named Johnny Law.
Johnny's been in the scene for a while.
He's been in the scene for a
while. Probably have met Johnny Law.
He played with Living Dead Girl,
and he also played with Fate Destroyed.
Well. And he's been a hired gun with us on a couple different tours as a second guitar player, and he finally graced us.
I put the bag over his head and took him
and joined the band. So he put us together. We were looking for a drummer, and I knew we were moving to LA, and Josh from the band Rivals.
Great band. If you don't know
Rivals, check out Rivals. Check them out. We connected and we started talking, and he's just a great guy, great drummer, and he was super excited. But then he realized all his tour dates were lined up with our tour dates. There was no way he was going to be able to do the gig. So he recommended a guy from Huntington Beach, California, named Scott Collins. And let me tell you, Scott is the coolest guy.
He's awesome, man.
We love Scott.
Yeah.
He came in. He literally flew to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which I like to call the armpit of Pennsylvania.
He didn't know us.
He didn't know us
in person.
He rehearsed the songs and sent us videos, and he flew on a red eye, arrived in the morning, slept for a couple hours, jumped into rehearsal for a day and a half, and then out on the road he went. He is the man.
Yeah.
And so one of the great things is he lives in Huntington Beach, which is like maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours from us. And then Tyus Sudagan, who is in LA now. I like to call him an LA native, and
that's what I would say.
Works at the Whiskey and does stuff at the Knucklehead in Hollywood.
Which Illusions just played.
We just played there the other night. It was a lot of fun. Did the metal jam. You got to come out for the metal jam.
Oh, yeah. That's totally your speech.
I can
for sure.
on this, right? You would fucking dig it.
You can.
You would dig it. I'll get you you should host it.
Hell yeah.
But all y'all. And then Johnny came on board. He's currently in the middle of the country, but he's relocating a little closer to us so he can be full time. So in a year of trials and tribulations has ended up on the other end with a permanent band.
Blessing. The biggest, it was very discouraging, a year ago when we lost our band. We'd been together for 4 years, and we were solid, which I'm sure other bands, you can understand that. Like, you get a group of people together. One of the hardest things to do is to get everybody to gel. You can be a great drummer, great guitar player, great singer, whatever, but to gel is a totally different story. And we were there, not to.
He saw us live.
Yeah, we didn't have to rehearse to some time. We were that on point. And so for Chris and I, it was like a hardship, you know, and
It
so
was sad. Yeah.
it was really sad. Like, you know, actually I cried about it a couple times. You know, so fortunately, because we do have a lot of great people, you know, that have stayed connected and come along with us on this journey, like jump in, and it was such a blessing because it got us to where we are. And if you would have told me a year ago that we would be here today, I'd be like, you're crazy. That's not gonna. I love that idea, you know. But you know, fortunately, you know, we built up a nice team, and
So the answer to with the extremely longest answer in the world,
Oh.
Scott Collins on drums, Taya Sudigan on guitar, Johnny Law on guitar, and that's the Illusions lineup that you're going to see. And you're going to hear some new songs on this
my
tour
God, you
that are
guys.
coming out on the next album.
We're really excited to share.
So, which we've been working on for 2 years now. So we should be dropping a single before the October tour, and making. I don't want to. I hate that local
Delete
band
promises.
thing. No, I'm promising it will be out because it's time. But you have local bands that are like big things coming. I'm like, is this really happening? But that's more to come.
Well, shucks. At least you guys don't have any illusions of grandeur when it comes to yourselves.
Dude. Yeah.
No, that
That's
sounds
cool, man.
super awesome.
I
That's
think Lizzie Hale said it best though when she said luck and preparation come together, you know, and
Big
then
opportunity.
to make opportunities.
Yeah.
You
yes.
know, if you're not prepared, and I think that's something that Illusions has and always will do. We just don't stop driving. I mean, he and I look at each other all the time. I'm like, come on, like you got to, like you know what we got to do, like you got to, and he'll do it to me. He'll be like, I know you're fucking tired. You got to get up. You got to sit. Like you got to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always easy. You know.
I'm sure anyone out there who's in your audience that's in a band or has been in a band
You know.
knows the
Yeah.
difficulties of keeping a band together, right?
Yeah.
It's not easy, but we've been lucky. There's no screaming matches.
No.
No one's left and huffed out the door. It's always been like actually the formation of this lineup and the ending of the last lineup is the most adult relationships I've ever been in.
Yep. Yeah. I
I'm
agree with
like,
that.
wow, nobody's angry. Everyone's like, okay, man, it was a great time. I wrote it through fruition, and that was it. And now people are coming in that are just like psyched to be here and enjoying
that's
the ride,
cool, yeah.
and then we're reaping the benefits of it too. So it's a lot of fun. But you got Jay, Angel, you and Ron, you've been along for
I
the
know.
ride.
Yeah. Well, and you guys know too.
Yes.
You're out there in the scene. God, Ron, you're in the sweat and
In
blood
the
of
pit.
it all, literally. You know, and Angel and Jay, you guys are out there fucking supporting all the time and doing your own shit too. Holy crap. You know, so you guys should be proud of yourselves,
It
man.
just seems like yesterday we clocked in 2024 with you guys hosting the show.
Yeah, no shit, right? That
Number
was the shit, you guys.
No, absolutely, and we did that. Ron and I saw you guys at Fishhead Cantina.
Mhm.
That's where Ron did your first like official interview with our little clique, our little grouping and stuff like that.
Yes.
For that show, it was super duper awesome. And then Megan and I came out. We saw you guys at the Crown in Baltimore with Suicide Puppets.
Yep.
Suicide puppets.
And
Oh
all,
man,
and all
miss
that
you
kind of
guys.
stuff. So it's definitely been awesome. But yes, our beloved Ron, let's kick it up to you, man. Why don't you take it away for a moment?
Yeah. So the question I'm gonna ask is a little weird and a little and especially not even really weird, but more like especially because you guys just moved to LA. But you were talking about moving to LA and finding musicians and stuff like that. Where when you were in PA, finding good musicians was a lot harder versus where LA, you've got a ton of other musicians, which is the bonus part of it, the good side. But the bad side of being in LA is there's so many thousands of bands all trying to jock with each other. Where
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania, where you guys were such a really good band and unique that Pennsylvania part was kind of like it's kind of like a double-edged sword on that.
Okay. Is that the question? Is it a double-edged
Yeah.
sword? Okay. So in LA, my experience with other musicians are, hey, oh my God, you're so good. What's your band's name? Yo, will you come sing with my band? Hey, there's this open mic night. You guys should come. Like, we need other music. My experience in Pennsylvania is, ew.
It's it's different. I don't know.
Like-
Other people might say the
So,
opposite.
but
They
yeah.
might say LA is this town.
But I don't feel like that at all. So for us, and maybe that's talent, recognizing talent and appreciating each other. because that's how I see it.
Yeah, before we played the Knucklehead, we rehearsed in North Hollywood, and we're sitting in our new bunker, which I'll give you a quick spin around it in a minute. But we rehearsed in North Hollywood, and I'm walking in, and there's Brian Weaver from Silver Tide, and I'm running into producers and people like it's like crazy because it is a clique, but
It's very welcoming though.
Everyone from our perspective.
Yeah.
Because what we do is very different from what a lot of LA bands do. And we're not really an LA band, we're transplants to LA. It's just been super welcoming. Every bar we go into to play or any promoter we meet, or just like going to hang out, we'll walk into an open mic or we'll walk into an open jam or things that we'll go and just hang out with friends because that's the most fun is to go watch people play.
Right.
And that is the
It's
most
amazing.
entertaining thing in LA is there's every night
There's something going on. And you meet other band members, like we'll do jams and it's all bands, but they're in other bands.
Yeah.
So
it's
like
so
the
cool.
lead singer from this band is singing at this jam tonight with these guys and everybody's just really welcoming. And not to knock Pennsylvania, like obviously we're from there and we love a lot of our friends and stuff from there. It's just such a harder scene. I just felt like, coming here was kind of for me like a relief because I'm thrilled to be with people that are better than me. I'm thrilled to learn from them. I'm honored to play with them. It pushes me to be better. And in a scene where everybody's in competition with each other, but we're all on the same fucking level and we're all doing I just don't understand. I don't have that mindset. So it was a struggle for me because because I'm the singer, I have to keep my fucking mouth shut.
Wait, you're the singer?
I can't say anything and I don't. I'm kind to everyone and I'll always be kind to everyone because I don't have any reason not to be. Because if you're not going to be kind to me, it's just like I'm moving on, period. But it just, for me, in my experience in Pennsylvania, it was a struggle. And that's not to say that I didn't meet some amazing bands amazing people.
We have great friends like Ashes to Vanity.
Oh, yeah. Ashes to Vanity. Novarium.
Who toured with us just a little while back. The best people. But what's funny is none of them were, except for Suicide Puppets, none of them are PA bands.
Yeah, actually. But, if you guys
PA and it can be rough. Yep, Mindy.
Word, man. And I'm just, again, I'm not knocking it. I'm not.
Mindy knows.
Grateful for all my experiences because every experience teaches you something.
Yeah.
You can choose to allow it to defeat you, or you can be like, I learned from it.
I think the simple answer would be LA has been a warm, open hug.
Yes, literally.
And it's just been great because literally every time we go out, every time we're somewhere, we end up talking with somebody who's from a different genre or a different band or
magazines coming up to us and asking us to be in their magazine.
That's really a lot of fun.
People already know who I am. I walked to the bathroom and they're like, the fucking siren. I was like, holy shit.
She's not used to that.
I've only played 2 shows in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, it's weird for me. But
Ron, it's a lot of fun. You all got.
You guys have to come out here, and you're gonna host a fucking show, and we're gonna be there, and we're gonna get. We don't even need to get people; they'll be there.
Oh no, the Whiskey's got a walk-in crowd. It's amazing. Every night you go there, it's packed.
Yeah,
almost. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about Pennsylvania too. If you look at it throughout the history of Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania bands, all these iconic bands you have Live. You have Trent Reznor, all these bands that became huge. They left Pennsylvania for the dirt, and that's when they got huge. Yeah. You know what I mean? They kind of Pennsylvania breeds these good musicians, but you normally have to get the fuck out of Pennsylvania before so you can make a break. Because Pennsylvania, like you said, is so rough. I mean, it's
bro.
Like you said with LA. It's kind of weird because you said people were a lot more of that. Where in Pennsylvania, especially in the the local scene, everybody thinks they're better than everybody else, and nobody wants to be camaraderie. It's always oh yeah, that's those guys or it's those guys or these guys.
Well, we love everybody, and we always have, and it's
my mind.
And that's the thing is I work out here so much as an engineer and working with bands and producing that it was backbreaking. I was on a plane trying to get back. We did it twice. We had to drive overnight to get back from tours so I could get on a plane to get out here to work. So moving out here was a no-brainer
That
for
makes
us.
sense. Yeah.
And it's just been amazingly welcoming. And we miss our PA and Delaware and New
Yes.
Jersey and Baltimore comrades.
Just we
And,
miss you guys.
I mean, it's a great band. So let me tell you, it's when you're in an industry town. If we were country musicians or pop musicians, Nashville, which we made a stop in Nashville a couple weeks ago. That
Yes.
was awesome. And our buddy Joe Defiant, he's down
Oh yeah,
right now.
Defiant from Defiant is down in
vacation.
Nashville. Yeah.
Checking out the scene. Yeah, LA it made sense for us, but it also made sense for us not to live in LA, but to
For
live.
multiple reasons.
Yeah, we're living in the canyons above it, and we were lucky enough to find a really cool place.
It's like my dream house.
Yeah, it is. It's luck. It was luck because I'm not gonna joke with you. We almost ended up living in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
We did a video when we got approved for our place in Beverly Hills, and he was like, "I'm gonna post it." I was like, "Wait, don't post it yet," like because we had a few other houses that we were looking at, and
And then this place.
this
popped
came,
out.
this came up, and I was like, "That's the one."
Yeah.
Like,
So we love it, and the other thing that wasn't going to be that we didn't think was going to be possible, and it's not a lot of LA bands suffer from this, is you're living in central LA in whatever neighborhood, you can't really rehearse at home. Yeah, it's not the days of like the 80s when Metallica rehearsed in the garage. So we were lucky enough to move out here into the canyons just above LA, and we can rehearse in our home. Because there's nobody around. It's just mountains and people dirt biking and doing
mountain lions eating my damn trash.
mountain lions. Yeah, it's don't leave the animals out at night because the mountain lions are aplenty. But yeah, we were lucky enough to find a really cool place. We're in high desert. We're 4,000 feet above sea level.
So yeah, whoever said who was it? Ron? We gonna be all right.
Yeah, we're not worried
I'm
about
not worried about earthquakes. You guys have had more earthquakes than we have.
recently.
Yeah. So it's like I'm not worried about earthquakes. I'm not worried about tidal waves or any of that shit. We're safe.
Good thing this isn't a print interview because this would be the longest answer on God's green.
I don't know. These are our buddies. It's not like I'm sorry. I apologize.
Actually,
You guys can
get
tell
right.
me to shut up because you guys are my friends. So I see it more as like a hang. So sorry to everyone watching if it's boring. I apologize. I'm talking to my buds.
Now,
Just seltzer water.
That's
now,
how I see it.
now all I want is a sitcom, The Beverly Hills Sirens. Like,
Oh my
yeah.
God. We were talking about that. I said that to Chris. I was like, I'm pitching them an idea. I have an idea. And that's what I was saying. I was like, the Siren of Beverly Hills.
There you go.
How fucking cool would that be? I'm like, they go for that.
It was actually a joke because I'm pretty lucky. I don't want to sound like toot my own horn, but when I come and work here, the company I work for puts me up in a hotel that's just in Beverly Hills, which is awesome. It's also weird at the same time because for its own reasons. I'm not a Kardashian. I don't want
Oh
that.
yeah.
But
We
it's really
enjoy it.
cool because you get to see really cool like cars, Lamborghinis and
Super
Bentleys
clean.
and stuff.
It's very, very clean.
So and if anyone knows the Siren, and Jay, you know that she's a coffee nut, and we found this place on South Beverly called Earth Cafe, URTH.
Mhm.
Dude, the coffee. I mean, I don't have hair on my arm, but if I did, it
amazing.
would stand up.
It's so good.
So we were looking at houses all over. We were almost lived in Pasadena. I wanted that Van Halen lineage. And I jokingly said to her, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call our real estate agent and go, find me a place in Beverly Hills.
Damned if he didn't.
And he did. And within an hour, he called me back.
What?
And within our budget, too.
Yeah.
No, we're not, rolling it.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah.
But it was within our budget, and it was literally within walking distance of Earth Cafe.
I was like, you know where I'll be. We don't even ask
Yeah.
questions.
So we literally were signing the paperwork on it when this place happened, and we just went, the mountains feel more at home for us. So we ended up coming up here into the canyons. But it's really cool because we are surrounded. I didn't realize we were surrounded by musicians.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, again, Adema lives up here by us. George Lynch lives up here, I think, and Juan Cruchon lives up here. So it's cool.
I can't read those. You guys have to read them to me.
I can see you living in the Brady Bunch house.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
But now there's also
We actually
now
went to
there's
the
also
Brady
a
Bunch
part
house.
of me that wants an Illusions of Grandeur cover of Weird Al's cover of Dire Straits. Now I want you guys to do the Weird Al Beverly Hillbillies song that they did
my
as a
God.
parody of Dire Straits, but as an IOG song.
I'm in. I would do it in a heartbeat. I love doing that kind of stuff.
Angel, my
Yeah.
friend, you've been ever so patient and lovely, brother. Take it away.
Yeah,
Barry.
totally.
Can you guys hear me? You guys
Yes.
Yes,
hear-
sir.
Okay, good. I want to say thank you, Verizon.
That's not what you want to say.
That's what but want to talk about the tour.
The Metal Summit, sponsored by Verizon. Thank you, Verizon.
Oh, that's all the dates. Yeah.
Yeah,
The High Tone, the train station, the Cobra. We love the Cobra.
And
Rockfest. We can't wait.
Kentucky's not far from Baltimore, is it, Ron?
It's like it might be 10 hours.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
know it all runs together for me anymore.
Yeah, we're actually looking. There's in Memphis, Tennessee. There's called the High Tone. That is like a small metal community club. And it was funny because when it was booked, the promoter reached out to me and he's like, "It's too small for you guys to play. We're gonna have to find another room." And I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever works." But then everyone's like, "No, dude, you've got to play the High Tone. It's like just the best. It's the best metal community." So we're super looking forward to it. It's a small room, so it's going to be a really intimate, hot, sweaty show, I'm sure. And it falls right in the middle of the tour, so we're super excited about that.
My question is, what can fans expect from you guys on the tour? Not without giving away too much, because nowadays with the internet.
New songs,
Yeah, new music,
new light show.
new light show, kind of like a new look for the Siren.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's dug in deep into her bag of tricks and created a new look for the end of 2024, going into 2025. And that's the thing. Like we were talking about it earlier. We're jumping ahead of ourselves and talking about the tour in August, and then the tour in November, and then we're going back to Europe in 2025.
Oh, we can't tell you that. Wow, I guess that is some big.
Yeah.
fucking news.
So we're having
So-
it's we're doing hard work and preparation becomes
Equals
luck. And the harder we work, the luckier we seem to get. So we just keep working hard. But yeah, what can people see on the tour? Well, they're going to see a new band.
Yeah.
They get to experience Scott Collins, who is just a phenomenal drummer. Ty Asudagon, who is not in that photo. Blake's in that photo because Blake was doing some tour dates with us at that time. And then the guy just in the almost center is Johnny Law. And I don't know if you've ever seen Johnny live. There's
He's
a lot.
amazing.
Yeah, he's a force of nature, all on his own. So it's pretty interesting because it's the first time I can say that like this band is just like all touring professionals.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
really an interesting thing for us because we normally we were the band that would get in the basement and we'd rehearse and work it up, and slowly we grew into a touring band, and now it's become a year and into this brand new band of just everyone just shows up knowing their parts and ready to go. But that being said, the next 5 days are production rehearsals
Here.
right here at the Mountain House.
Yeah, the Mountain House. Not the farm anymore. It's the Mountain House.
We were on the farm for a lot of years.
We were.
That was fun.
From the farms to the mountains.
So what can people expect? New songs, new band.
New songs, new band, kind of a new look for the Siren.
I can tell you it's going to be aggressive.
Yes.
I mean, we seen you guys live. Look, and it's definitely worth checking out. I know we always say, go check out live music. There was like an article yesterday, I guess about the whole thing with live music. Some people canceling tours and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But tell the fans, look, for $20, you get to see a really awesome band and get to meet them for free.
Right.
So why not come check them out, buy merch, and all of us, we're music fans. We put our money where our mouth is. We definitely support the bands, buying merch, buying the records, all that fun stuff.
I can attest from firsthand nature. All of you guys are super supportive and
Yeah.
always at the
And-
merch table.
Yep.
Always like that is
Fucking Metal Summit, you guys.
yeah, you got, and I always
Support
I
Metal
tag you
Summit.
guys in everything because you got, it's like, it's not even contrived in any way.
You
It's
know,
super honest. And Jay, you're like,
100%.
you're definitely, just because we spent the most time out of the whole thing together, there's no one more honest in the scene than I've ever met than Jay. You're, dude, you're straightforward, you know? And I love that about you, man. You're fucking no holds.
It's a discredit to people who aren't just that way, you know? Like, don't get me wrong, you don't have to like everything. You don't have to like
Word.
fall in love with certain things, you know. A band that you get to know even on a tight relationship, you know, still might not overly be your cup of tea as far as the live show goes. You just know that they're just bitching people and you just love doing that kind of thing. But
Right.
it doesn't do anybody any favors to not be transparent and just be like the same cat every time you see him and stuff like that. And Ron's the exact same way. Angel's the exact same way. Like,
Yep.
you know, anytime I blink, I know I'm still getting the same guys. Like,
No, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are definitely true, like,
Salt of the earth.
true
Serious.
fans of music.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, come see the show. I put that on everything we do. Just come see the show. Come hang out. We're doing a couple limited VIP packages for like $20 where you come in advance and hang out with the band while we're sound testing and get a couple special pieces of merch and some signed stuff. And it also helps support the tour because
Yes.
touring,
Is
I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. Yeah.
Sorry.
Touring's expensive, man.
No,
Yeah,
But we love doing it. It's what we do. We're a live band. You
Yeah.
know? We love making
Yep.
videos and we love recording records, but getting to walk out and get that buzz of being in front of the audience and shooting the shit with other musicians and fans of music, especially our boy Mike from Nashville and Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who's just an unexpected.
Oh yeah, Mike. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. He like made my night.
Yeah.
As I came off the stage and like, you know, he was just like a bigger dude and he had these awesome long ass dreads, like really little ones, like they were perfect. I was like, dude, your fucking dreads are awesome. And he's like, oh my God, you talked to me. And I was like, what? And I was like, yeah, what's up, man? Like, you know, we're in a bar, right?
It was the
It's not an
Nick in
arena.
Birmingham out
Yeah.
there.
And he goes, forgive, this is what he said. He goes, I was crying. You guys threw my dick in the dirt. I was like, sorry, what?
He actually said that.
He
shit.
said that. Like, he was like, you just made a lifelong fan. I'm telling everyone about you. In fact, I'm coming tomorrow night to see you in Nashville.
And he drove to
And
Nashville.
fuck if he didn't.
Yeah, front row. He was in
Yeah.
Nashville. That was
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah.
please retitle it the Dick in the Dirt Tour.
Mike, what's up, man? That's awesome.
Done.
That shit's so funny. Yeah.
The Dick in the Dirt tour. I was at when she.
I told him about it.
Yeah.
And he came over to the merch table and he said the same thing to him. I was like, oh, thank God he said it again.
Yeah.
I was like, see, I told you. That's what he said. I was like, what the fuck?
that sounds painful. I'm sorry.
That's painful, right? No shit.
Yeah, I don't think I want anyone to do that to me. But
Anyway, sorry.
it was nice though because that was, as anyone who's been on tour, on long tours, when
Yes.
you're like 10, 12, 15 dates into it, especially we're not Motley Crue and flying on jets and shit.
Somebody
know,
else is driving.
We do the driving and because she likes to do the driving.
Yeah.
I
get
don't
really
force her
bad-
to.
I get really
Don't
bad
believe
car
her.
sick. No,
when she
I
tells you.
get really bad car sick.
But we're loading in and out of gigs and we're setting up and we're doing all the stuff we're doing. And you know, it gets to you. You a couple hours sleep a night and you're long into it. So when you come off stage and you get people coming up that are just like passionate.
And we know we had kind of like an off night. Like not a bad night, just an off like
But the video proved elsewise.
right, but then yeah, it did. The video did prove
Because
it.
I was
But-
I literally thought it was the worst performance I had ever given. And I was really
It
just
wasn't.
it's and that's the thing, you can't go out and be like, even though you're having a shitty night, you can't go out and be shitty to people. You got to
Right.
people are there, man, and
To see you, that's-
and being kind because that's the first experience they're having sometimes. And he literally made our night. But then he actually went, dude, you're high, and just showed me the video, and I kind of went, oh, I need to not be so hard on myself.
Yeah, we were. I don't even remember exactly what happened. I know I tripped over a cord at one point. Like,
Yeah.
the stage was so small. Like, we thought we were gonna have more room than we did. The sound guy was great, awesome.
Oh my God.
Knew exactly. He knew his
The Nick.
fucking, yeah.
Holy
Great,
crap.
great sound. You know, just there were just some things, you know, kind of threw off the night a little bit, and that guy like saved it for us. I'm sure other bands have, you know, experiences like that. I do have to give a shout out, and I'm ashamed that I don't know her name because I should. At the Cobra in Nashville, a woman and her husband were there at the
Oh
show.
my God.
She knew every fucking word to every song. She was standing in the front, like moshing and singing to me and like freaking out. My photographer girl was like pushing her up to the front, like, go talk to her, like, go. We spent like 2 hours with them after the show, like just talking to them. Dude, she made fan art. Like,
It's so awesome.
yeah, like,
So cool.
what a cool experience, you know, because I think that was close to the end. Nashville was like one of the last
Nashville was one of
shows.
the last shows in the last run.
Actually, I think it was the last show. I don't know. But,
I have no idea.
you know, we meet people like that, and it just, like, it puts the meaning back into it, you know? It's like, oh, this is why I do this. That's right. This is why I do
I
this.
do know that.
Like,
I can't wait to play Rockfest because some of the fucking best bands ever.
Oh.
And we're trying to get there the night before.
Lasers.
Whatever that effect is you're doing, keep doing it. I want that live. We're trying to get there the night before to hang out with Burning Witches and some of our friends, and then play. And unfortunately, we have to jet.
get to go.
We got to go because we have to get 10 hours away to another show the next day. But we start there, and there's some just amazing bands playing, and then we end at Brewstock where we traverse the abyss. Nail
Nail
Bite.
bites there, yeah.
You know, it's Psycho Stick. Oh my God, it's Nestor who put all
Oh
this
yeah,
together.
Nestor.
He used to play with Dying Oath.
Yep.
Great guy, and he has a great team. It's so we're kind of blessed. We're starting at a really great festival. We're ending at a really great festival, and in between, we're playing some killer venues. And we're returning to the Cobra in Nashville, and we're getting to play the High Tone in Memphis. I'm looking forward. I'm going to Graceland. It's going to have to happen.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's going to be a really cool tour.
So we will definitely, well, he will definitely take all kinds of video, of course, and you guys will kind of be along with us on the journey. I'm sure I'm gonna go a million times, and he's gonna go, it's a video, every fucking time. So, but yeah, you guys will be with us for sure, you know.
Absolutely, for sure. Ron, let's kick it back up to you, brother.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I was gonna say, but yeah, I was, you know, with the grizzly beard that I've got and stuff like that. That's the one thing that you're probably gonna miss a lot, not being in Pennsylvania versus being in LA, is you're not gonna be able to hang out with the guys who look like me and the Amish anymore.
Yeah, bro.
There's not-
Weird crew.
There's not a lot of Amish out here.
No.
I was gonna say I don't think there's very many Amish in the LA area.
No. Mm-mm.
No, that we're not. We don't get stuck behind cart and horse like we used to when
Horse
we
and
had
buggies.
horse and
yeah.
buggy when
Yeah.
we were in Lancaster.
Mm.
That was kind of crazy. But now we're out here in high desert, and the traffic here can be hellacious. You got to know what time you're driving, where you're going, if you want to get there on time. But for me, and I lived in LA previously, and I loved it. But every time I get to be on Sunset and walk past the Whiskey, or be by the Viper,
Or the rainbow.
or the Rainbow, or Gil Norton's, or go to all these great venues,
1200 Club.
I
1200 Club.
1200 Club, which that's a fun story. I feel lucky because it's like we're
No,
blessed
we're blessed.
to get out here
We
and
are.
do this. And again, like I said, it's been super welcoming. All the bands that we've met, all the promoters and different magazine people that just show up at venues. It's an industry town, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. Almost
It is.
too much fun.
It is. Yeah, he'll go, do you want to stay? I'm like, come, we gotta go home.
You have to go when the sun's coming up. You have to go home eventually.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and then even piggybacking on the, you're talking about the LA scene and the musicians and singers and stuff like that that are always backtracking and stuff like that. Being a singer that sings live, like how do you like that? Whenever people come to you and talk about like your voice and how you sound live, doing it without all the pre-production behind you.
Hmm. I don't. We've had great experiences. I don't.
Yeah.
I.
I don't think anyone understands how much work you do on your voice though on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, I'm always well. First of all, a ton of exercise, and then I nebulize every single day, and I put certain things in the water to take care of my
Yeah,
throat.
I did put some pictures up from the last tour we were
Tea and
in.
everything.
We were in Detroit, and you had no voice.
Oh yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like she's sitting there with her nebulizer, her tea, her honey, her throat coats, and all this stuff, and she's just sitting there with it looks like Darth Vader with the finger over her face. But yeah, I can tell you one thing: you go out every night and you bring it. Actually, I can say that about the entire band. We leave it all on the stage.
Next question.
What's up, my homies? What's up?
What's up? Who is this?
I can't even see.
I'm sorry. I'm so blind. I literally can't see that. What's up?
It sounds like Miles. Miles always.
Is it
calls
Miles?
us. I don't.
Yeah, Miles does call us homies. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I'm super
But and then the other actually it's funny, yeah. We haven't run into any bands that are like backtracking it up or not.
Oh no.
Not laying it out. Actually, that's what I'm saying. Go to the Knucklehead in Hollywood.
Oh
And
man.
go to the Thursday night the Metal Bangers
I
Jam.
feel ashamed I don't know that one girl. We saw this one girl. She like blew my hair back. I was
Thank
like,
Dio.
"Ooh."
It was incredible.
She was amazing, and she has her own band. She was so sweet. She like followed me on Instagram like right away. I'm not a social media person, sorry. So for me, that's a big deal.
What's it saying?
But
Details.
no, I don't. Yeah.
But it's been really cool. Your boy from Lynchmore Studios. Oh, okay. What's
What's
up?
up, man? I don't know. But
Yeah. Oh, that's Arturo.
Oh,
So,
Arturo. What's up,
yeah.
brother?
yeah, totally. Yeah, he had hit me up. He had hit me up about about you guys being on the show, and I was like,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
dude, like I got you. He had sent me some stuff. He was like, he's like, you need to mention when I met them in Tennessee and how impressed I was with them, and also how impressed the people from Columbia the guy from Columbia Records was.
Damn.
Yeah.
oh shit.
Many nights. Yeah, Arturo is a shit. He was really. I think we hung out with him at Fishhead too, during one of the Sonar Fests.
Oh my god, I'm so ashamed, dude. I don't remember your face. I'm like trying to place it.
No, I remember him. He's a
apologize.
very memorable dude. What's up,
Yeah,
brother?
because
I'm sorry.
also like me and Arturo and Leon are a little we're a little grouping as well too when it comes to that, because Leon and Arturo are also very tight. So like
Yes,
Right on,
they are.
right
He
on.
does. It works with Offensive. So,
Yeah.
And then we love. It's kind of sad because we did move. We don't really have Blakey playing with us anymore. Because he's got commitments with Offensive and his own commitments on his stuff in Pennsylvania. But it's like on one hand it's great because we come to LA,
Right.
new band, new musicians, new environment, and then on the other hand we're like leaving behind
A lot of
and
our friends. And
a lot of our friends. But we tour, so we're touring so much. Again, knock
we'll
on
be
wood,
back.
lucky that we will be back through, and we will get the day, of course, get to see you and Ron. And
Oh yeah,
Angel.
we'll be back. Yeah.
But of course you'll be here first.
Yeah, which is fucking awesome.
That
Yes.
works out
Cool
great.
out here, guys.
that we definitely will, 100% for sure. Angel, let's kick it up to you, brother.
Now we can't hear you.
Nah, there we go.
There you are.
Wow. I'm just like glad that this audio situation is finally working. So
Dude, that's fair.
Verizon plug again.
So I used to just think you were really quiet.
nah,
Anything but.
when I come, hey, trust me, you'll see.
Yeah, I know.
We'll be having a good time.
Oh yeah. What's the craziest thing you've seen while on stage? Wow.
Oh man.
Craziest thing you've seen.
The craziest thing that's happened to us on stage is, for me, is someone handed her their baby.
I don't know. I was thinking about that one too, but here's another one because I don't tell this one enough. I was thinking at a place. First of all, it was a place in the Ukraine, and we got there and we kind of all looked at each other and we're like, nobody's coming to this. You know, it's like one of those nights, and we're in the fucking Ukraine. You know what?
Mid-tour Tuesday night.
Yeah. So we all go in this like really cool green room they had for us in the back or whatever, and we're hanging out and like getting ready to go. And all of a sudden I like hear people talking. I'm like, what is that? So I don't come out. He goes out. They go out. The whole fucking room was packed like wall to wall. And it wasn't a huge place, but it was packed wall to wall. And there was like a magazine person there and a couple other people.
It was crazy.
And then there was this guy. So I'm performing.
I knew you were getting this.
And I've got this like Freddie Mercury, like half staff microphone thing.
It's a big long piece of steel with a flag on it.
It's cool. It has like a flag on it and shit. And you know, yeah, I do what I do with it. You know what I do. So he proceeds to like reach up and grab me.
He was going to take her home.
And he was going to take me home. He pulled me so hard that the guys in the front who I didn't know, like pushed him back and kept him from pulling me off the stage. I kept singing.
You didn't miss a
the
beat.
fucking song. I think I was singing Wolf, and I like kept singing it.
And the guy was trying to pull it. Yeah, that was kind of crazy.
So they kick him out. Okay, it's not like America where like you get kicked out and somebody fucking locks that shit down. That dude don't come back in. Here he comes. He got on stage and he's like, "I'm going to marry you. I'm going to kiss you." I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was about to get brutal. That was crazy.
That was my old guitar player Nick and Nolan were like, "Yo, bro, like what the fuck, man? You got to get out of here." Like they had to carry the dude out of the fucking room, like out.
But meanwhile, it's a Tuesday night. I think it was in Dnipro.
Well, now that's the craziest thing that's happened to me on stage. That was the question.
And it was it was empty. We sound tested, and I think a lot of people like you go play a venue on an off night on tour if you're a touring band, and you know there'll be 5 people in the bartender sometimes. Everybody's been through it. That's the truth of touring. Some nights there's shit and shinola.
Yep.
You know, some nights are shinola where you're like, this is awesome, and some nights you're like. You're out there playing, you're like, why do I do this? There's 5 people here. But it ends up being a good time anyway, because you're on tour and you're lucky to be on tour. That was a weird night. We sound tested and we were all set and we went back to get ready and prepared. And we were we were sitting around going, well, what do you guys want to do? Like, what's going to be the set? What do you want to do? You want to cut? Because I don't think there's going to be a lot of people tonight, but it's cool. But I remember because we had to walk down this hallway and to get on the stage, you had to duck.
I smacked my head off.
Yeah, she smacked her head
really hard.
Yeah, that was another.
I had to walk into the opening.
The auspicious moment. She bangs her head on this
almost
thing.
Passed. It's a fun night.
But I the intro starts and I hear this roar and I'm kind of like,
what is that?
I was like, wait a minute, and I took our production manager Garby at the time down the hallway and I peeked around. I was like, holy fuck, the place is sold out. This is awesome. But it did turn into a crazy night where we had one drunk Ukrainian guy who he was going to marry the siren and take her home.
Yeah. I forgot about that. And I always tell the baby story because that is a crazy story. And that was just a fabulous night. That was another, we were honored because
it was crazy. The guy who was giving me the dog collar too, and
there's a guy that gave me a dog collar, and
he was attached to it.
He was attached to it, and I had the other end, and it was a fucking chain, you guys, not just like a. It was like something you get at Home Depot for like pulling something behind your goddamn Jeep.
Yeah, he was.
What's that?
Submissive.
He was what?
He was being submissive.
Oh, definitely. You think he had like a Batman outfit on or some shit?
There was that guy too.
Yeah.
He had underoos, Batman like underoos.
Yeah, it wasn't like a good costume.
Outfit. It was dirty because people had been there. We were there at the last day. That was Rock Balava.
Yeah.
Which was a fun day because it's horrible to talk about now. We have great friends in the Ukraine and the war.
Yeah,
They're
love you guys.
not going to get all fucking political on you. but the day we were there, you could hear the shelling from
2 miles from
the guns. You could literally hear the shelling during the concert. It was crazy.
Well, the night we left from there was crazy too. So that's not something that happened at a show, but we had to fucking book it out of there because it was nighttime. And our driver was like, we can't be here. Like we have to go.
The patrols.
And it's not like doing 80 down a highway in Pennsylvania or Baltimore. We're doing 80 down a fucking dirt road with shrapnel holes. And not like one every 100 feet.
Yeah, we got rattled.
It was he was like, I think my back is I'm having seizures.
I think I'm gonna die.
He's like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, they ran us out,
Like ran us out.
we finished playing, we did an autograph signing, and it was awesome, and it was so much fun. And then it started getting dark, and we had planes to catch. It was the end of the tour, and we had to get back. We were going to Germany.
Yes.
And our driver's like, we have to leave now. And I was like, yeah, we'll get to the airport. He goes, no.
No.
He's like, dude, we have to leave. There are patrols.
Yeah.
So like literally, if we get caught out there, he doesn't know. He's like, I can't protect you.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, oh, this sounds like fun.
It sounds.
So we're doing like 100 miles an hour in a Mercedes Sprinter van in the middle of the night.
And shrapnel.
Yeah, hitting shrapnel.
Dirt roads.
And you hear like going off. So that's not the craziest thing that's happened on stage. The craziest thing that's happened after that was not the after party I wanted. Let me just say that.
We never told that story.
That was a crazy. Yeah, that was a crazy night.
So that's a new story.
But kind of piggybacking on the crazy stories on stage and stuff like that, for being a female singer, especially with the crazy outfits that you always wear. Have you ever had any like wardrobe malfunctions and stuff like that? That's been crazy. That's happened.
Definitely. I've learned from my mistakes too. I had a really early on, like I was trying to do like the actual siren thing and like wear not a tail, but it was like a form-fitted dress. And any girl knows like the mermaid cut. So it was like mermaid cut.
We were playing Reverb. We were there with Motor Grader and Dope.
And September Morning was there too.
Yeah.
I couldn't fucking move. Like it was so tight. And I went to go down, and I'm like, my whole world's like, you hike up your dress and show your world to me. Yeah, that was about to happen, like live on stage. So I was like, okay, we're not moving from this position.
Yeah, you were stuck.
I was kind of stuck.
Anyone who's seen us live knows she has like a light riser she stands on, and then she moves around the stage.
That was another thing. You would have totally been unable to see everything. So okay, I'm standing up.
And I remember that show because it was such a great night. We were talking with Diesel. We were hanging out with the guys from Motor Grader, and it was just like, this is amazing. Talk about, you look to the side of the stage, and there are some guys that like, man, you respect their music, and they're checking you out. And so we're playing, and normally she's like,
all over the place.
And I'm like,
she's like, what's going on? I'm like,
what the fuck is happening? You're not moving. And then we come off stage and she's like, yeah, if I had moved, it would have been pretty obscene for everyone. They probably would have loved it, but it would have been pretty obscene.
It would have been bad. I mean, I was obviously wearing underwear, but it would have, it would have been bad. So that I definitely had happened. I've also had a corset be so tight that I actually had to, we played the 1300 Arena in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I had to go around backstage, and my guitar player followed me at the time. He's like, are you okay? I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking drop. I was like, if I don't take this off right now, I'm going to pass out. I mean, right now. Because I didn't know this, but right above me
was a heat
vent just blowing in my face. So I couldn't get to I'm like looking for my water. My guitar player is clearly, he's like, something is going on.
You're in distress.
Like, she's in distress. He like kicks me a bottle of water and shit. And I'm like trying to play it cool and get the bottle of water and, drink my water. But I had to go backstage and take the fucking corset off. And then I just came out with, I don't remember what I was wearing under.
Angel, you do look like Rob Trejo.
You do look like Rob, yes. And Rob Trejo was just in a brawl, by the way, down at the Santa Monica Pier with a bunch of other fucking people. It cracked my ass up. It was like, Rob Trejo is in a brawl at Santa Monica Pier. I was like, jeez.
That was Danny Trejo.
Oh, that's Danny Trejo. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, we got you. And
I'm sorry.
Go check his taco place out. Not that he needs the money, but man, the tacos are excellent.
When you come to California, you must do a taco, like.
We do a taco
tour, like a taco crawl.
Fish taco.
They have a Danny Trejo's taco at the Jiffy Lube, but we always go there and always forget about it. And like, damn it. But that's like the only one that's on the East Coast, I think. Is,
okay.
I didn't even know there.
I didn't either.
We go to the one right off of Hollywood and Vine. It's like right by.
It's right across the Museum of Death.
The Museum of Death. Yeah.
You gotta go check that.
Literally right across the street, and
yeah, that's really cool.
The food is righteous.
Yeah.
So are the prices.
Dude,
yeah.
Me and Ron were at Horror on Main in Harrisburg last week. Ron got me hooked on the Vampire Tacos truck. Dude,
nice.
They're from PA. Tacos were bitching, man. They were so good.
Nice.
I was just sad I got myself one. I was like, damn, I should have gotten like 4.
Yeah, you never get one taco, bro.
That one taco is a lot, though. It's okay.
That's
like $6, but it's a decent amount of meat.
Oh, okay, right on.
Don't challenge me to a taco eat-off. One of the first times we came here to LA, we stayed in Venice because it's just like the experience of like the energy of Venice. Mainly, I love it because I love the Doors. I just grew up on it, and we just everywhere we went, I didn't even look at the menu. Bring me the fish tacos,
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's what.
and it was
We were
awesome.
rating them. I was like, these aren't as good as they were last night.
Yeah, it was awesome. And actually, funny enough, our first night back in LA, our house wasn't ready, so we ended up in Marina del Rey in Venice, just kind of crashing overnight, kind of hanging out, being very homeless. And it was awesome. I highly recommend it if you've never been on the Venice boardwalk or the Venice veranda, and just
definitely an experience, man.
go grab if you don't drink, grab a coffee, because the coffee is awesome out there. Grab a fucking taco, or they take their burgers very serious out here. For a place with so much plastic surgery, they're best burgers you'll ever get.
You guys were talking about the coffee shop that we're definitely going to have to hit up when we come out there in November. But have you guys done your homework assignment that I gave you at the Coffin Bar? And did you guys order yourselves anything from Coffin yet?
Not yet.
No. Dude,
and there's good reason for it. I can spin you around the room, but we have been
non-stop.
Yeah, we have been nonstop since we arrived, both recording, meetings, and going places. And then I had this brainy idea of pulling all our gear from PA here, which we had to do anyway, but to like make our own little studio. So I'll give you I won't make it too quick because I don't want to like get people like think, but it's like the new tour kit is here. That's Scott's new kit. All the guitars, we had to get them all lined up, and then we had to set up our own little recording studio so we can work while we're here. So we've just been setting up what I politely call our bunker, and just getting ready for the next 5 days. Everyone's flying in, and we're going to be rehearsing and doing production rehearsals. And that was a big part of doing this house. Was we can't just go out and do it live. And anyone who's in a band that does performance, like setting up and renting a place and setting all your stuff up and doing days, it's so expensive. So we're just super lucky we found this place and we have our own little home again. But that's taken this long.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot. It's not just, almost an entire pod full of fucking gear. It's also like, everybody's a normal person, like all of our shit,
Yeah, no, we had to actually physically move everything.
And we got rid of a ton of shit too, but when we got here, it was like also the time change, and then like the California is like serious about their shit. Like we got here, we had to get our new driver's license in like 10 days. And that caused a bunch of fucking confusion because you know how the DMV is, that doesn't change no matter where you go. So of course, the first time we went, we didn't have all the proper identification. So that was an adventure,
papers.
So you have to like get all that shit like to like be established and shit.
Yeah, so
which is a pain in the dick.
But we will be ordering soon.
Yes, but you know what helps that? Coffee.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Punch me.
No, you're all good for sure. And one thing I wanted to ask that I think is really, really interesting, obviously with the new, solidity behind the band and the guys being so down for the cause and being excited to play with you guys and take, IOG to these new heights that you've been working for. The thing that's also very interesting about you guys is you guys have gotten and are continuing to grow IOG to different heights, to different levels as a theatrical band with a real show, major costumes, makeup, paint, stuff like that. When that's a very tricky route to go because it has the tendencies of falling into a niche market. Mm-hmm. But you need to make sure that you've got your ducks in a row and are just kind of doing everything correctly, respectfully, and just also being driven. But my point of the question is, when you have people joining an established theatrical band like you guys, how was their reaction to knowing that they weren't going to be rocking, jeans and t-shirts or something like that?
Johnny is fantastic.
Actually, everyone who's come on board kind of gets excited about it.
They do.
It's like being a little kid. You get to play
A character.
A
That's what I was gonna
character.
say. Johnny already had a character. And
Johnny is a
he
character.
character. He's a beautiful man. Which he's just, yeah. You guys know Johnny Long.
And,
Whether you
yeah.
realize it or not.
It took Scott. Scott, the first couple of shows did a little bit,
He needed a minute to find himself.
but then we hit this Michigan Mayhem Metal.
Oh, the
Fest,
Metal Festival we played. Yeah,
and
that was really cool.
he was in the dressing room.
Did the whole
he-
thing, man.
It was like motionless in white. He
Yeah,
went
he did-
like all the way.
It was awesome. So he
there's some-
leaned into it hard.
And so I told him, I said, well, you're gonna have to do that every time.
Well, I told him, I was like, listen, you don't have to like do anything specific. Even if you just want to like look dirty like a fucking Viking, I don't care. You don't have
Yeah.
to like do anything special. Just figure yourself out in it, and you can't wear camo pants and your other bands.
We're not a jeans
know,
and t-shirt band, but that's kind of the thing. We want to present a uniform show.
When you see us, we know we're a band,
Yeah.
when we're in the venue before the show and when we get on stage, obviously,
And that's all talk. It's all talked about in advance,
Mm-hmm.
like what we do, and also, people have comfort limits. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really comfortable doing that. I don't really want to, great example, and not for anything. Blake Shannon came on, played a bunch of shows with us. Was not a guy that wanted to do makeup,
But he did eyeliner.
but he did eyeliner and dressed,
He painted his nails black.
and he dressed in the garb of what we do.
Right.
But that was his comfortability level, and we respect that. Like, no one's being forced to do anything, but
I try to tell people to find their thing in it.
yeah. And Scott leaned into it hard, and Johnny leans into it hard. We're gonna see what happens with Ty. Ty is
Yes.
old school rocker.
Yes.
so
So we'll see what
I
kind
think
of decides to
it'll
do.
be fun where he comes from. But yeah, the siren has to approve everything before you hit the stage.
Yeah, it's got to at least be somewhere in the vein. It doesn't have to be super specific. And just to like touch on something you were saying, Jay, about us being kind of like falling into a niche thing. I think something really cool about Illusions of Grandeur, from my perspective, is that we play so much like different music. It's us, but each song like has its own soul and its own purpose, and like I really think that that's something that kind of separates us from other bands in a way. Not to try to be whatever, but I think Falling in Reverse does that a lot as well. Like,
I think it makes us schizophrenic.
I think I don't really care what it makes me. You decide, because your opinion of me is yours
Yeah,
to have. I don't really care.
You sound like us, but it's in different. I try and throw a lot of different genres in.
So the costumes, I feel, just like make it more fun.
Yeah.
And if you don't like my costume, oh well.
I would say if you don't like our costumes, there's something wrong with you.
Well, no, I don't.
I
But
was gonna say, I was like, I don't think any guy is ever complaining about any of your costumes.
Yeah.
we lean into what we do hard, So I'm not afraid of being.
Hard would probably be the reaction of some of the guys that see on stage.
I'm not worried about like being niche or anything. Not to just not to challenge you or anything, but I just wanted to touch on that a little bit because. Chris and I have talked about that too, and you're going to see like more diversity from us. Like that's actually been part of our discussion because as you know, the Siren it's a trilogy and we are coming into the final
two
album,
records, yeah.
which is going to be broken into two parts. So the final part will be the Ascension, and with Ascension comes growth and rebirth and new things and new ideas.
Yeah.
I don't want to stray too far from what people see and what they remember about Illusions of Grandeur. However, I do want to have growth in the band musically and directionally. So you will see like growth from us. I consider it growth. I'm not going to start singing country music, or something crazy like that.
What?
But I'm just going to say there's more evolution to come from Illusions of
I
Grandeur.
thought we were going to do a Willie Nelson cover band. Wait a minute.
God damn it.
No, and then that's the thing. It's about every time someone comes to see us, and you might be able to attest this too. We present something a little bit different. We tweak it a little bit. So you come see the show. You're not going to just come see the same show over and over again. And this time we've actually, we've turned it up a little bit. The light show is a little bit daunting. It's actually requiring its own rig.
He goes, I'm not setting this up. I was like, you just bought all of this shit. I was like, tell me you're joking.
No, it's getting set up. It's a crazy new light show that we're bringing with us on this tour. We actually had to simplify it a little bit, but to make it fit in the venues. But we want to make sure, and that's the other thing, we want to make sure every venue we play gets the same experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
So it's about making the light show modular, and it's about making what we do like fit. So it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and with those light shows too, like, you know, especially through the lens, you know, for us photographers, it makes it so much better. Like that's why I say like the best bands I've ever like got a photograph are like those kind of, you know, theatrical bands that have their lighting, like bands like Mushroom Head or even Avatar. Avatar has like the best lighting in the entire world, and they have the coolest thing I've ever seen in my entire life in any other band, where their guitars, their thing goes down and they kick it up and put their microphone and then it goes right back down, which makes it perfect for anybody who's a photographer. You don't have all these shots of the, you know, the microphone in the way in the stand. I'm like, that's a genius idea. Of course,
Innovative
you know,
shit,
came from
man.
the Swedes. The
Hell
Swedes,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah,
but-
Talk about a band that leaves it on the stage. We saw them with Baby Met.
I fucking
And
love
yeah.
Avatar.
First
yeah, I
off,
shot
nicest
that
people.
tour.
First, nicest people on the planet.
Have you shot that tour? You shot that.
Oh, well, and then that
Yeah,
foot,
yeah.
the foot thing for the microphone is the cool. I
He
wanted,
pointed that out to me right away. I was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "What is he doing?" He's like, "That's the fucking microphone."
I wanted to steal that so hard. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's an Avatar thing. I'm like, God bless him. That's amazing.
I'm like, that's the greatest thing ever. But like I said, with the lighting, you know, like I said, and with just that little gimmicks and stuff like that, I'm like, that makes it perfect for, like,
Yeah.
especially when you're going to a venue, because some venues have really, really good immaculate lighting, and some venues have really stale, horrible lighting. So at least if you go to a venue that has shit lighting, at least if you have your own lighting going along with it, it makes like a world of so much better, not only for photographers but even for just fans watching the show.
So we've been lucky. We work with a lot of LD lighting directors at different venues, and we'll come in and they say, and it's so funny because either you get one of like three reactions. One, we load in all this stuff and the guy goes, "Oh, what the hell is this?" Two, you get a guy going, "Yeah, if that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. I'm not going to run my lights." Or three, you get someone who's like, "Oh, cool, yo, why don't we merge them together?" I can name one place specifically, Fort Walton Beach, downtown music hall.
Yeah.
The lighting director is amazing. They have a great light system, and he, as soon as he walked in, he was we were sound testing and running our light show, and he had some great ideas, and we kind of worked together. Never be afraid to learn, man. It's always cool, and just because someone has a different opinion of it, and it really did. It amped the show up. There's actually some really cool live video from that show.
Oh yeah.
And we actually learned a lot and have incorporated it into the show. So but you're right, Ron. You can walk in some places and they got a light bulb hanging, and they're like, "Oh, it's the light show." You get the same thing with that's the PA. What's that speaker over there? That's the PA. Oh shit. It's I think it's better for the audience. It's better for the band, and it just makes it more enjoyable night. And you get some cool photos when you're not just running like the same thing all the time and you're switching the lights up. It's an experience, man. Yeah, and that's what we try and provide, an experience.
Yes.
And it's kind of funny with that kind of stuff too, because like Ron and I have joked about this. Like my buddies in the band Vampires Everywhere, like I love that band so much. I will kill for that band. I love everything they do. But man, Michael and the guys love their red lights, all red all the time. And don't get me wrong, it works for them. It belongs with them, like for their aesthetic.
Yeah.
The whole Lost Boys thing, like it makes sense for what they do. But from shooting down in the pit and trying to get those clear photos, oh man, you assholes!
Yeah,
but I mean,
the worst one.
It's never going to take away from my enjoyment because I love their shit. I know every word to every song. But man, I'll be trying to get like those shots to publish them and be like, dude, check out this band. They're fucking awesome. And I'm just kind of like, God damn it, red.
Yeah,
all red all the time.
Yeah.
So anyone that's
or if they go dark, like with Deicide, like I got to shoot Deicide one time, and I understand, like, you know, Deicide's that, you know, gloom doom metal. They're, you know, dark and satanic. And it's so black. We had to like email their PR person and say, yeah, every photo we got is shit, you don't even want any of this because it's just so dark lighting. It's black on black on black, and it's like
Yeah.
with fog, and then you're like, yeah, that even makes it worse.
What are you gonna do with that? Yeah.
Well, and anyone that's seen us or knows the history of the band a little bit knows every album has a theme. The first album was white and red, and then the second album it was black and red, and now we're kind of coming into a black and white, which if you can see our backdrop for the new tour behind us, and the outfits all reflect that, and the lighting reflects. And yes, this is an awesome shirt. Buy these shirts. They're super. They hold up and they're super comfortable.
I couldn't help myself just because of the black and white thing.
Well, yeah, you also were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
dude, our shirt
He's
didn't make the
actually
cut.
perfectly sitting in the wings too.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I position myself so I feel like squaw. But yeah, so we've actually arranged the lighting for the show to kind of fit the mood of each song,
Nice.
which is not like an easy thing to do. But a lot of white, a lot of blue, a lot of reds,
Yes.
and just changing things up so that like it's not every song, but it's almost every song where you have a different look. So that it's so funny because you'll see a photo and know exactly what lyric you were singing.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly what song by the lighting cue.
Oh, the lighting and whatever I'm doing physically.
Now, when you
because-
guys do that lighting, are you planning on having somebody run the lightings, or are you kind of doing it yourself per song?
Depends on the night, depends on the show, depends on the tour. I love having a lighting guy along, but most of the time we end up doing it ourselves and programming it. As anyone who's seen me live knows, I have foot switches, and I'll
Yeah.
run some of the lighting from the stage. That also helps us to like ad lib,
Oh, yeah.
to like
Definitely.
be
I'll
able
be right back.
be able to change like what the show will look like during a song by switching things on and off. And then there's just amazing stuff you can do with DMX switching and things of that nature nowadays that are so simple and so easy. We were out with Novirum, great fucking band. And I was having conversations with their guitar players, and that they were asking me kind of, how do you guys do that? And when I explained it, they were like, get out of here. That's it. Like, yeah, man, like a little investment, spend a little money and get yourself like some light switching boxes that can operate on audio and also can operate by foot switches. And it makes anything's possible nowadays, man. And it's within reach. I mean, if you have Amazon, you can pretty much, as long as as long as you're not afraid to spend a little money, you can get some cool stuff. And we definitely kind of took some cues from some other bands. Like, we love learning and looking at different bands and seeing what's going on, and not taking anyone's direct thing. Like, I'd love to do that Avatar thing with the mic stand, but people would definitely be like, "You're ripping off Avatar." But learn from it. It's like when I was a kid and I'd watch, David Bowie concerts. I mean, or watch, Kiss, or go see, Peter Gabriel or Genesis, and they have, like, especially those guys, they were accused of loitering on stage because they just stand there. So the lighting show is the show. Yeah, we love it. We take a lot of pride in it, and also when people are putting down their hard-earned money, be it whether it's $10 or $20 or whatever it is, when you come in, we take a lot of pride to make sure you see a good show. It's nobody wants to pay their money and go see a band that's just going to sit there and kind of not do anything, unless
Dave
that's
Matthews?
what I said it, not you said it, not I. But yeah, and there are bands. There are a lot of bands I've seen who are just like technically excellent bands, and that's kind of what they do. And I'm all about that. It's just not what we do.
Yeah, I mean, and the cool thing about with the technology now, like you said, with doing the lights with your guitar pedals and stuff like that, like one of your mates, like Raven Black, where she uses her the smoke that comes out, like the fog machine, does that all by her microphone.
Yeah.
Like, she sets it off and she can change the lighting, and like it's so cool that you don't even need technically a light guy anymore. Like back in the day, you had to have a light guy. Now you don't have to have a light guy because you can just do all that stuff that's all programmed, or pedals and stuff like that. It's crazy nowadays with these, like, the technology for stage show, especially for theatrical stage bands.
We even take it one step further because we use a computer for our mixer on stage. So no matter what venue you go to, we're going to sound, depending on the PA, but we're going to sound relatively the same because we send forward the mix of exactly what we do. So it's the lighting, the mix, every aspect. Not to say we're control freaks, but we want people when they walk in to get the same quality that Mike came out and saw us at the Nick in Birmingham, Alabama, and then he saw us at the Cobra, and the show has the same quality at every venue, at every tour stop, and it's super important to us that when we go out there and we play, that we put on a quality show, and that people are entertained, and moreover that they enjoy themselves. Because I mean, it's everyone knows the cost of shit ain't going down.
Sure.
Life's expensive. And for somebody to come out and honor you to buy a ticket to your show and come see your band, you need to pay respect to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you need to put your best foot forward. Again, I was having a shit night, horrible. And I got on stage and I felt I didn't give enough. And then I saw the video and went, wow, that's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And it was really good. But I always want to make sure when I leave the stage, I left it on the stage.
Yeah.
And
play as if that's the last time you're ever going to get to play.
Every show.
Yep. That's what I say. That's what people like, aren't you nervous? And I'm like, no. And then that's what I say when I'm backstage, like kind of stretching and breathing and getting ready to walk out. I say, you need to go out there and sing like
That's
this is it.
That's our mantra. Like leave it. Get on the stage and play it as if you're in battle, man. Give it the show, mock show.
Yeah, I mean that's the cool thing, especially when you're playing like that. Like whether being in bands, whether you're playing to a stadium with 9,000,000 people or there's 10 people in a crowd, you want that show to be good because, like you said, who knows whether or not you're gonna wake up on the right side of the grave,
Correct.
sometimes. So it's like
That's true, man.
you want that to be your last. You want every show to be the best show because you never know whether or not that's your last show. A prime example is that I'm a huge Old Dirty Bastard fan. I love Old Dirty Bastard, dude. Huge fan of him. I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan. Wanted to see him. Finally got to see him one time. Yeah, I finally got to see him at the Gathering one time. So I was like, oh, sweet, awesome. They were playing. Okay. All of a sudden, their DJ's playing stuff, and they're like, this record. Oh, yeah, I forgot we fucked up that song. Then you go to the next song. Oh, he fucked up this one. Oh, he was all fucked. It was the worst experience I've ever seen in my entire life, which sucks because that was the only, and then he passed away. Yeah. So it was the only time I ever got to see him. So my recollection of Old Dirty Bastard, even though I love him as far as music-wise, but my live experience with him is the worst ever. And it sucks because you always, like I said, you always want to make sure you're giving that performance, whether it's 5 people or 1,000,000 people, just because you never know if someone's never going to see you again. And then, like I said, that Old Dirty Bastard one, it left such a bad taste in my mouth, going like, damn, I wish I would have seen him at least before or after, because just seeing that one time was bad.
Old Dirty Bastard left a taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
He left a lot of taste.
With Old Dirty Bastard, the 9 billion kids that he had, he left a lot of taste in a lot of mouths.
I take it from the Van Halen thing where they play backyard parties and they'd be in gold lame and platform boots. And when we read Michael Anthony's, I think it's his autobiography or some interviews. He's like, really? But that's the thing is, put on the same show, whether you're playing in a backyard in Pasadena or you're playing an arena.
Oh, and also to go with that too, you never know who's there. You never know who's there.
I mean, especially being in LA. I mean, you gotta look at a lot of those big, huge bands that have gotten big. I mean, I always talk about it before with Nonpoint. I love Nonpoint.
Yep.
Those guys, or even Seven Dust. I always say the biggest one is Seven Dust. They were huge in Florida, blowing up blowing up their huge local areas and stuff like that. And some guy that was a record executive saw them and was like, hey man, we want to sign you guys. And they thought it was joke, and they're like, no, we're gonna sign you. So you never know whether or not you're playing you could play some shitty club in Cleveland and some record executive could just be happening to walk in that day.
Bingo.
And if you're playing a shit show, you might not have that chance again. So if you're playing your best, you never know who's going to be there. You never know if it's the son of somebody who owns a record label, or
Right.
a niece or a relative or somebody that knows somebody. Especially in the LA area, everybody knows everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody has connections with everybody.
I
So
ran into
it's
somebody
like,
pretty
oh my
interesting
God, you
on
see
my.
this
I don't
band on
even,
stage?
can't even say who she's related to.
Oh yeah.
I was fortunate
You
enough
always.
to run into
I
somebody.
tell you when you come to LA, go to the Rainbow.
Go to the Rainbow.
No, it's
Yeah,
where
that's
everything's
my
happening.
that's my bucket list.
There's a lot of meetings going
Come on, brother.
under the tables, around the tables, in the back thing, up in the vampire room. Jay, you would dig that.
Oh, you would definitely dig the vampire
Hollywood
room.
Oh, the layer
Yeah.
of the Hollywood vampires.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
brother.
we spent a lot of time up there
Yeah.
talking, socializing. But yeah, and I mean, it goes to that, and that really is like has always been our mantra, is to leave it on the stage and play as if, I don't care if there's 5 people in the audience or 500.
You never know also who you're gonna touch. We've done that too. We played a place in Europe, like in London, and there was only a few people there. It wasn't promoted well, and there was something going on downstairs. It was a lot of fun, and all the bands were super supportive. So we all, banded together and like supported each other. But there was one gentleman there, and later after we left, we got a letter, or not a letter, but like an email from his friend who said, "Hey, I just really wanted to say thank you to you guys." He said, "My friend said he came to see you. You took a picture with him," like meaning me. She's like, and you told
Yeah, we
him,
hung out with him.
yeah, like how grateful you were that he was there and everything. He's like, "I just wanted to tell you that he had just tried to commit suicide a few days before, and he had just gotten out of the hospital. So like, you saying that to him made him feel worth something."
Yeah, he
And I was just like, "Oh my God!" Like
Yeah.
that made me so happy. Like to be able to do that for somebody. You never know.
you never
Yeah.
know.
You know,
what
you don't know
going
what
through.
somebody's going through.
Yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
just like be fucking kind.
It costs you
It
nothing to
costs
be
nothing.
kind.
Even though you
Right.
don't care for somebody, just be kind. You don't
Yeah.
have to be an asshole.
And even just the small shows thing too. I mean, look, you
Yeah,
go up
bro.
on stage and you kill it for 10 people just because it's a small show and it's only 10
Mhm.
people. When you come back through town though, those 10 people are going to bring friends.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
And well, especially in Europe for us, that's definitely what happens because we just keep getting more and more and more. Like we
You're
played
very lucky.
the festival. I think that was one of the biggest times. I think the first time we played the Whitney Music Festival was probably our biggest crowd. And I'm not even trying to take credit for it. Like it's because it's a massive festival. Yeah.
And all that.
But the last time we played, a bunch of people knew us. They were waiting for us to come back.
Yeah,
And
that was awesome.
yeah, that's a crazy experience. Like little kids, we had a couple that like got engaged at our concert the first time they saw us. They were there.
Yeah.
The whole family of the gentleman that we stay with when we go over there, his whole family was there. Their kids, his band, their band. It's amazing, like the connections you make.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we are very blessed though.
But
Yeah.
come see the tour.
Come see us. Yeah, come say hi.
No,
You see Angel
absolutely, for sure. And Metal Summoners, we're still going to keep rocking it out a little bit longer with Illusions of Grandeur, but it is going to be the last call for alcohol. It is that time, guys. Keep pumping in your questions, your comments, anything that you want CM and Maggie to talk about, anything you want them to answer. Now's the time. Don't be shy. We always clear the board, but it is going to be that time, guys. So last call for alcohol, final fan questions. So go ahead and pump them in. We will definitely get to them. So with you guys being so road savvy, and also just being like just in for the kill when it comes to getting your band out there. Besides coffee, how do you spend your downtime?
Finding gyms.
I would say, is there a downtime? Does gym count? How about the hot tub at the gym? Does that
Gym
count as
can
downtime?
laundry?
Who's
Oh my
Jim?
God.
I do laundry. I love doing laundry.
Yeah. I actually I have a good story that goes with this. We had a drummer who had never toured, came out and did a swing with us, helped us out on this last tour, and he was great. But he's like, "Listen, right after the sound test, I'm going to go back to the hotel. I'm going to take a nap and do this and that." And I kind of looked at him and I was like, "Yeah, that's not how this works, man. Like it's from the minute you get up, you're going, and then you're at sound test, and then it's meeting fans, and then it's watching the other bands, and then it's playing, then it's breaking down.
Yeah.
You get in the van and you go and do it all again."
I don't know if you were necessarily talking about on tour. I guess you were, right?
Yeah.
On tour, what do we do for downtime? Is that what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah.
try and sightsee if we can.
We sightsee.
Like in New Orleans, we took some time to
Yeah.
sightsee, and We try and do that, but 90% of the time, in order to make
The next show.
especially again, straight talk, touring's expensive. So in order to make it work, you've got to play every day.
Yeah.
You've got to. I mean, you've just got to go. And that becomes like, the road habit. Like you get a couple hours sleep, get some chicken down your throat, and get into the sound test. Once you finish the sound test, it's time to get ready. And then getting ready for an illusion show is no small feat. It takes a lot of time to get the makeup on and get the gear on and get everything going. Then you're into the performance, and then sometimes the show is 45 minutes, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 2, depending on where we're playing. And then when you finish, it's meeting with fans afterwards, signing stuff, hopefully. Merch table. We've got Kelly, who's the best merch girl.
Oh my God, Kelly.
And then it's breaking, and we don't, we have minimal techs if we have techs on the tour, and breaking everything down, getting it set so when you play the next night, you're ready to go. So I mean, it's a grind, but we love it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd say sometimes we go to the gym. I'm normally in no matter what. And he's like, "You're a psycho. You need to go to sleep."
Yeah, especially if you're driving.
Yeah, I try to sleep a lot and rest, as much as I can.
Yeah.
And if we know we're gonna have like a day off, I always try to find like a really local, cool breakfast restaurant. I love breakfast food. It's probably my favorite.
Family dinner or family breakfast is a core.
Yeah, I
of the
like doing
illusions.
that. I like bringing everybody together and getting somebody's breakfast and like having a talk and talking about the show and how it's going and if anybody needs anything. I'm very much like, I'm the singer, but I'm the band mom for sure. Like I take care of it. I'm like, oh, are you good? Do you need Advil? Your towels need to be washed? Let's go do the laundry. So on a down day, I'm like bringing everybody together to make sure everybody has what they need.
This van has some interesting smells.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess if the core is, if we do get some downtime sightseeing and or just kind of
regrouping
with the band and having a dinner or a really cool breakfast, found this place in Nashville called Sweet Milk.
Oh my God, so good.
And just kind of grouping together. And I like to tell everyone to like take a deep breath. There's actual video. We're playing the Whitney Music Festival, and Connor Howe was filling in on guitar. He's our sound tech. And we were playing, and during the one song, there's stops. There's done, like a little break. And I walk over to Connor because he was, it's a festival, it's 10,000 people.
Yeah.
And we stopped, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and I just said, take a second, look out at the audience, soak this up, man, because this isn't every day, and it can end tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he actually was funny afterwards. He's like, dude, I'm glad you did that because it like stopped me in my tracks, and I got to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we get on stage. And it's intricate. The songs, the light cues, the this, the that. This intro is playing. Now we got to retune. Now we got to switch guitars.
And to his credit, he's a sound guy, a brilliant sound guy who does play guitar, but not full time or anything.
Hey,
jumped into Illusions of Grandeur like
4 weeks before a European tour. Hey, can you learn 18 songs and go on tour in Europe? And he did a great job.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really is about taking a moment and just pausing and kind of enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride, and because it didn't, when you weren't doing it, you wanted to do it, and then when you start doing it, you got to appreciate it, because then eventually it ends, man.
Right.
And so enjoy soaking that up, eating the marrow out of the bone there, soaking the marrow out of life. Just getting it.
Absolutely. No, 100%. And while we're also talking about tours and talking about, gear, and you were talking about your tech, filling in and stuff like that. CM, let's do a little rig rundown with you. What are you playing?
Before we moved, I was like, I think you need to solve some of those.
What are you playing with? We can't see your hands.
Show him.
Show us your hands.
I'm still a Jackson guy.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, didn't you just get something that's brand new now?
No. I guess I did. I don't know. I mean, I'm still playing my Jackson J basses, which I love. And they sound great. But so I might be a Jackson player for life, although I've been playing playing around with some Music Mans.
Oh yeah,
I hate to cheat on Jackson, but Music Man has been
we found a really cool
Music Man has
shop.
been courting me a little bit, and there may be a switch to some dark glass Music Man basses coming in the 2025 year. I have to see what happens at NAMM. But yeah, right now it's this guy, and I stick to my PV 1000 watt touring amp. Way overpowered, but it's everything that I need. And a Shure wireless, and I have a secret little weapon that I love that every bass player should go and get, besides for a Sans amp, which is the coolest thing ever and it can't be replaced. I use the Sonic Maximizer. And
Okay.
the Sonic Maximizer, we played the Knucklehead. And there was a band opening, and the guy, actually, it was funny. He had a Music Man 4-string. It sounded amazing. And I sound tested, and he kind of stopped and went, "The fuck are you playing through?" And I was like, "Wait, I only have my pedal board because I was using house amp." And I just went, "This little red box right here." And I don't mind giving the secret away. Sonic Maximizers are awesome. They have super amounts of great low and high, crispy highs, and they can make, a pretty shitty rig sound great. So yeah, that's it's a quick rig rundown. I love changing the pedals up. Right now it's a Vox pedal that's doing some really cool stuff for me. But the Sonic Maximizer, my Jackson basses, my Shure wireless, and my PV touring amp. That's my go-to. I love it. Although Jaron is talking to me about orange amplifiers, and I don't know, that might happen too. I love gear, man. Don't get me started.
I was gonna say, we're giving love to the bass. What about you? What kind of microphones do you like to use?
I had a Shure for a really long time. I was actually, my dad's a musician too, and he actually he works at American University for, God, like 40 years now. So I used to get a lot of my gear from my dad.
For a Shure now.
Was it a Shure?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what it was.
I have to walk over.
You had to be sure it was a Shure.
I had to be sure it was a Shure.
Well, because I was kind of picky about it. Someone had told me about another microphone that they thought I should use, and now
Neumann.
no, not the Neumann. I have a Neumann. That's what I use in the studio. It's amazing. So I like the Neumann. Actually, like is not an understatement. I've been searching for years to find something, because I would tell him, I'm like, I'm not hearing it right. It's not right. It's not right. I didn't know if it was the microphone. He and I, like, we didn't come to Dukes about it, but we had moments about it. He was like, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do, but I don't know what's going on. Long story short, I get a knock on the door one day and I have to sign for a fucking package.
From Berlin.
From Germany. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because when's the last time you had to sign for a package? Unless it is a computer or some shit. And it wasn't. I was like, what the fuck is this? So I call him. I was like, I just had to sign for a package. He goes, don't open that. I was like, what? So I had to wait for him to get home. I open it and it's a fucking Neumann mic from Germany for the studio, and it's amazing.
Yeah, you can hear
every nuance.
A fart.
That's what I'm talking. Like, a lot of the stuff I do has a lot of nuance to it. Like, I change my voice for different parts of the song, and I need to hear that. So that's what I was telling him. And this microphone, I told him, I was like, as we were setting up here, I was like, can we just stop everything and like just plug in my mic? And he's like, oh yeah. I was like, no, the Neumann. I'm like, I miss it. Like,
that's a little easier said than done.
Yeah, no, that was
I mean, I've always been I've always been a Shure guy. I've always liked Shure microphones
for live,
and stuff like that. And we joke around with the musicians and singers that like to use the I can't remember what the style.
Sennheiser.
The big ones in your hands that look like a 50s singer.
Yeah,
and I'm like, those are cool
too,
for aesthetic, but for vocals, it's not that great. I'm like, and then speaking of the Shure 57, I remember the first time I bought the Shure 57, from the gear people. I was like, oh yeah. I'm like, how durable is this microphone? He's like, oh, it's durable. You're not gonna break it. I brought it in the next day, all dented in. He was like, what the fuck did you hit? I'm like, just my head. He's like, there's no way you used your head on that. I'm like, yeah, I'll show you video. He's like, he gave me another one for free because he was like selling me that you cannot dent this microphone. There's like, unless you're slamming it on like the ground or something like that, like really hard, you're not gonna dent this. And I was like, the next day, I'm like, this is dented from my
Well,
head.
for us, after like 9 years of pretty much, we've been a road dog band since day one.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because anything that's cheap or anything that doesn't work or that we don't like put the money out for, it doesn't survive. So one thing we did learn was even if you have to like figure out a way, get the quality gear, get the better piece. In the long run, it's better. It's better sounding. It'll last you longer, and you don't have to replace it as soon. That's not everyone's availability. Some people don't have the budgets for it. Lord knows we didn't when we started.
No. No.
But over time, like we find like different. Like I have this guy sitting right to the side right now. This is actually funny enough. This is our Sennheiser 609s. These are great for guitar. These things can handle incredible amounts of fucking punishment. And our rhythm guitar player and our lead guitar players, they put them through a ton of punishment, but they're great because you can get them right on the grill and get some great sound. And it's consistent and they last. We've had our rig dropped and
Oh my
rig,
god.
this and
Sitting
that.
in heat at the border for
Days on end.
ever.
And we plug everything in and everything works. It's amazing because you take the time to buy some quality stuff. So
Yeah, with that, like, especially when you're doing like that, like, like I said, especially being a DIY band, like I said, it's easier to buy the cheaper stuff, and obviously because it's, you're on a budget, it's way easier to get that. But then, when you do decide to treat yourself and get that quality one, you're like, why the fuck did I not do this before? Just because the quality, especially when it comes to audio and musical instruments and stuff like that, there's a reason why a lot of that stuff is more expensive. Now, again, granted, there are some products out there that are expensive just because it's their name and the product isn't that great. But most, especially music equipment and like recording equipment, the higher stuff, especially if you're like you were talking about the German stuff, the European, engineering is insane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and actually this run we're taking out for the first time this Yamaha kit.
Oh yeah.
It's actually it's sitting right here. Scott's going to christen it, starting production on tomorrow or day after.
Yeah.
And we've notoriously been Tama or Pearl, and now Yamaha kind of rang us up, and we're giving this kit a shot. So we'll see. We'll come back for the review and see how it makes out after 60 or 70 shows.
Absolutely.
Hopefully it won't be a pile of wood.
Okay. Shout out to Jason Smith, dude. We see you watching from England. Thank you so much for hanging out with Illusions of Grandeur. We actually talked a little bit about Motionless in White earlier, so we see that you like them. That's super awesome. And Illusions of Grandeur have played England. Hopefully you've gotten to see them. If not, there is European talk for 2025. Perhaps.
For sure.
We'll wait for official announcements on that. But thanks so much for hanging with us, Jason. We appreciate you rocking out with us on YouTube. One thing that's also kind of like, fun when it comes to like with you guys as well, when it comes to like how you want like your gear set up as well too, is like the idea of like having the gear that also like matches the aesthetic. Like CM, I don't know if I could necessarily see you rocking, like a neon green bass, like Typo Negative style.
No, I've always been the same. Every bass, every guitar I own, except for one exception. I can show it to you. They're all black except for this one, and I know you love this one.
I do.
He knows what I'm going. You know what I'm going to grab.
And I do. And I don't love a lot of things that aren't black.
But this guy,
I love my SG basses so much.
Yeah, this guy right here, and this guitar, man, makes it on so many songs because it's just that set neck and that killer EMG sound. And this is my red guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, and you have the bass to match. I love this thing.
I do. My love affair of AC Slade made me have to buy an SG bass when I found one time. I was like, I gotta buy this. Like I hold AC in very high regard. So
it's got some black in it still though.
It's got some black in it, absolutely. It always does. But it is kind of funny because I don't. The SG guitars are like so great, but I really love those bodies as a bass. and it's also kind of funny with like Telecaster bodies. I despise Telecaster guitars. I don't like the way they look. They look like a piece of fucking toast. The headstock is tiny and like skinny looking. It looks dumb. But for some reason, like for example, my buddy James Keane, who's the bass player for the Raskins, and a lot of people know him as J.K. Famous from Pretty Boy Floyd. He has I forget exactly which brand made them, but he's got these basses that I love that are black, by the way. But these basses that I love that are Telecaster bodies. And there's something about the way they look as a bass that I can like really get behind. And I kind of feel the same way about like SGs. They're solid as a guitar. I really do like them, but you know, they're a little bit more common when it comes to that. But there's something about the look of that like devil horns body in a bass style that I'm just like, yes, it's the way.
I'm a Telecaster bass guy. Love them. GK, G&L. Sorry, G&L.
G&L.
G&L makes a killer Telecaster bass. I highly recommend it. And then these guys have kind of, the John Petrucci Music Mans have become like my favorite guitar. And this is our backup on tour.
Yes.
It's also my main studio guitar right now because I'm just in love with it. And she's laughing. Music Man is like starting to creep. Talk about spending some cashola. Music Man is starting to creep into my life.
I almost got him one in Nashville the other day.
Oh, right on.
Dude, okay, so that's not Nashville.
The sales guy.
If the sales guy would have stopped paying attention to the older gentleman sitting in front of me, I think he thought he was gonna like upsell this gentleman. Like he was like, "Oh, this guy's in here to get like his last guitar." Not to sound like an asshole, but I'm just being real. So I think he thought he was gonna upsell him because he kept giving him like a more expensive one and I'm like standing there clearly like being patient but waiting for him because I'm like, I'm gonna buy him this fucking bass. Like I'm just gonna buy it. And the guy wouldn't come over, so I was like, you know what? Fuck you, you just lost the sale.
Yeah.
I felt great about it. And she told me a couple hours later, I was like, what the fuck? Go back.
Well, it's funny. I went to a guitar store. This is like years ago because I actually needed like a new setup. I needed like an amp and a head and stuff like that. Oh, thanks for the subscribe, Jason. You rock, bro. And I went in there and I stand out in a crowd. Like I don't come in there looking like I just rolled in from like the frat house and stuff like that. And it's funny.
Definitely.
So I'm in there, money in my pocket, looking for something I need because I needed to shop for things because I was at the time joining this band that didn't work out and I was preparing for a tour. And I was like, nobody said a word to me. I was there for nearly an hour. Didn't even get as much as a hello or hi, welcome to the store. I've never been back since. And I was just like,
I don't want to name the shop.
I was like, am I invisible? Am I the wrong gender? Like, am I just not cute enough? Like,
I feel you, dude. I feel you.
I bet you. I can imagine. I was like, I mean, it's one thing. And that's the reality of the situation, Maggie, is like, if that's the way that if that's how it worked for you, like what chance do I have? Like, dude, none.
And I wasn't even
ignoring all this.
Well, I'm a hot mess. I just got back from the gym. But no, I was just like, and I was being patient, but you know what I mean? You like stand there. I'm sure you understand, Jay, where you're like you're clearly waiting to speak to someone. Mm-hmm. You know, you can see it. Yeah. And I was like, well, you just lost the fucking sale. And oh my God, I laughed my ass off because we walked out, right? Because it was in that special room and Chris had this fucking bass. And I was like, oh man, okay. I'm going to get that. I'm just going to get it. It was, whatever.
Because I need another guitar.
He really loved it and he works really fucking hard and he does amazing shit for this band. And so I was just going to get it for him. And I was trying to be patient and that motherfucker just completely ignored me. So I walk out with him. I was like, fuck this guy. I walk out with him. He wanted to look at this jacket. I'm like, I'll go buy you that jacket. Fine, whatever. Fuck that guy. Let's go get the jacket. And the elderly couple then came out behind us.
Didn't buy a thing.
They literally went to the front and were like looking where the magnets are,
Bought a magnet.
That's
the equivalent of when you try the PRS guitar and then buy the pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh, is that not karma?
Yeah. Ha ha ha. So he got a $5 sale.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I love you guys.
Yeah, I know.
We
I
have,
gotta
we
get
have
a
to end this because we have, believe it or not, we actually, it's going to sound so fucking LA, but we have a meeting that we have to go to.
No, you're super good. Absolutely, yeah. But we're definitely so thank you so much, Metal Summoners, you know, and everybody who had been tuning in, rocking out with us, Arturo, Lisa, Jason. I know that we had some Illusions of Grandeur fans that were coming in,
Oh, Ron, thank
and
you
so
guys.
Mindy, Brian, you know, our Brian. Thank you guys all so much for rocking out with us. We had an absolutely great time tonight. But bottom line is, CM, Maggie, the bottom line when it comes to myself, Angel, Ron, when we're all like rocking out, is that it matters how you guys felt about your experience. Did you enjoy yourselves? Did you feel respected? Did you feel that it was worth your time? And did you enjoy the questions that, you know, the team as well as the fans asked of you?
We keep coming back for more because you got to have some of that Metal Summit. You got to eat that up, man. It's good stuff.
Absolutely. No, absolutely 100%. And you guys, I mean, we are friends, but I feel like I'm just hanging out with you guys, having a great conversation. So there's something to that too, because I'll be very honest with you. I'm an introvert extrovert and I dread interviews. I dread them. It takes me like he has to like reassure me like once you're a couple minutes in you'll be fine.
We knew
But
we
with
had
you
to,
guys.
yeah, we knew we had to come on the Metal Summit and talk about the
Yeah.
tour, and just because if we don't get our influx of Jay and Ron
Oh
and
yeah.
Angel,
No, totally.
we feel weak. We gotta get it right there, man. Gotta get it in.
Yeah.
So yeah, we love the Metal Summit. We love
Oh,
what you
yeah,
guys
sure.
do. It's pure, it's honest, and we dig it, man. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Pleasure. Thank you guys so much. Best of luck on the tour. Rockfest kicks off next week on Thursday. Metal Summoners, make sure that you guys are going out and supporting Illusions of Grandeur, as well as all the amazing bands that are getting out there. Hang out with them, take some photos, get some things signed. But again, when you see them again, bring a friend. That's what we're all about. That's how the scene gets built up, and that's how we continue to get everything to flourish and thrive. Ron and I are going to kick it with you guys for a little bit longer, Metal Summoners. Thank you guys so much. We are going to cut Maggie and CM loose. Guys, thank you guys so much. We can't wait to see you in November. We're going to have a really, really good time, and it's going to be a
Oh yeah, man.
Best of luck, guys. Get some rest,
Thank
handle your
you.
meetings, and best of luck on tour, and we'll talk real soon.
We'll see you all on the road, dude.
Guys.
Absolutely, for sure. But that's also one of the things that it comes when it comes to live music, you know, Ron, when it's like that idea of like, you know, live music, getting the shots that you need and having the bands that absolutely perform. That was the thing I thought was also really fun about our previous segment, where it was like, man, the lighting works for this, it's designed for that, but man, when they're pumping in these kind of lights, us little ones in the down in the pit are kind of like, oh, why?
Yeah. Sometimes sometimes that lighting can be your friend but be your enemy, especially when it's like, you know, saturated reds. That red is horrible.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's definitely crazy when it comes to that. But Metal Summoners, we appreciate you guys all so much. We're going to get everything fixed up in a little bit, but make sure that you guys are supporting Illusions of Grandeur on all of their platforms. Make sure you're following them on Facebook, Instagram, as well as their website. You can follow Ron at ron.s.56 on Instagram. You can also find him on Facebook as well. You can follow Angel at Angel Alamo 78 on Instagram, as well as his Facebook. You can find me at Salem.vampire on Instagram as well. And you can also find myself and my beloved Devilish Ron as we do our Vampire and Devil podcast, which can be seen on YouTube, but we also have pages for Facebook and Instagram as well. So look up Vampire and Devil podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and the YouTube page is Vampire and Devil, all one word. And we appreciate anybody who wants to check it out with that. Ron and I are actually going to be hitting the road tomorrow with our respective Mrs. Vamp and Mrs. Devil, and we're going to go check out the Buffalo Bill house, my guy.
Oh yeah, do a little Buffalo Billing and see some. Go to Pittsburgh and see some dead stuff.
Absolutely, for sure. But again, Metal Summoners, thank you guys all so much. We appreciate you guys. You guys kick ass, and we really appreciate you guys supporting the show and supporting all the bands. Want to give a shout out to the Mad Shad from the Mad Shad channel on YouTube. Go ahead and give him a subscribe, and he's the one who put together that bitchin' intro for us. So we really appreciate him as well. But again, thank you guys so much. Have yourselves a fantastic evening. We're going to sign off, and we're going to rock out, and we will see you guys tomorrow as we are actually going to be coming live from the Buffalo Bill House with tomorrow's episode of the Metal Summit with Brutality. So we will see you guys in about 24 hours for another amazing episode, and we look forward to it. Take care, guys. Have a great one and be good to each other, and we'll see you guys in a day. As always, you've been watching the Metal Summit.